I'm Aqua Alex, and you're watching Aqua Alex Live. Let's learn about tropical fish today. Hello, tropical fish keepers. Welcome to a very special crossover episode of Storytime with Aqua Alex Live. I'm your host, Aqua Alex Cardinale. First and foremost, I want to thank you all for watching today's video, whether you're watching the live broadcast or you're watching the replay of today's video. I really appreciate your view. So as always, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're a new viewer, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get all of my other amazing content. Today, I am going to be talking about some of my funniest fish keeping stories over the last 16 and a half years that I've been keeping tropical fish. I started fish keeping at the age of 12, and I am now 28 years old. So that means that I've been in the aquarium hobby for 16 and a half years. And over those 16 and a half years, I've had a lot of funny things happen in the aquarium hobby, from silver arowanas jumping out to being accused of stealing a fish at a local fish store to an aquarium cracking and leaking. And those are all the stories that I'm going to share with you on today's video. This is another viewer requested video. A subscriber requested this video, and I thought it was a really interesting video idea. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. It sounds like it'd be a lot of fun to talk about, and I think it really is a great topic. So let's do it. So let's go ahead and get started. And I hope you all enjoy today's video. So before I start talking about my stories, I would like to remind everyone watching this video, whether you're watching it live or you're catching the replay of today's video, you too can share any of your tropical fish keeping stories. All you've got to do is post them in the comments, or if you want to personally tell me your fish keeping stories, you can come live on the broadcast to share them. All you've got to do is click the link that's in the episode description on both Facebook and YouTube. And it's this link right here. That is what the link looks like. And you'll be able to come on and tell me some of your favorite tropical fish keeping stories. All right. Having said that, let's go ahead and get started. So a lot of my stories today are going to involve one particular species of tropical fish, and that is the silver arowana. Now, silver arowanas are monster predatory fish, and they're known for one thing in particular, and that is jumping out. Silver arowanas will jump out when they're startled, when they're stressed, or when they just feel like it, because jumping is a natural reflex of the silver arowana. So let's see. My first four stories involve a silver arowana, although the last story technically does involve it jumping out, but there's another story about a silver arowana that I'm going to share with you that does not involve the arowana jumping out. I personally do like silver arowanas, but as you can see in the tank behind me, I rehomed the two that I had as I grew tired of them trying to jump out when I did water changes. And I had to keep the lids on, and when it came time to refill the aquarium, it was a pain in the ass to have to keep opening the lids to pour new water in. But anyways, let's get right to my stories. And my very first story is actually quite a funny one in my personal opinion. So growing up, my dad had a big monster aquarium. I probably would say that it was like a 220-gallon aquarium. And back in the day, aquariums were much, much more heavier and much larger than they are now. So back in the day, a 220 now would probably be similar to a 300 gallon. But anyway, in my dad's 220, he had a 3 foot silver arowana, and he invited one of his personal friends over to our house to watch him feed his fish and enjoy the fish that he had in his aquarium. And he had this arowana. He had a couple of pacu, Oscars, red-tailed cat, and a couple of other monsters in the fish tank. I was helping my mom prepare dinner. I was like 7 or 8 at the time. We were getting ready for dinner because my mom was hosting a dinner party. But my dad and his friend were feeding the fish, and all of a sudden, I hear my dad's friend scream something like, "Jesus Christ!" And my mom and I run over, and we see the arowana on the floor, but we see my dad's friend holding his head, and he had like a welt mark on his head, like he'd been punched by something. But it turns out that the silver arowana actually leaped out of the aquarium, hit him on the head, and flew to the ground. I don't know what made the arowana jump out, but as soon as my dad told me what happened, I started laughing hysterically, and my dad's friend was getting pissed off because my mom and myself were, were laughing at him, because you know how ridiculous it sounds for a fish to jump out of an aquarium and end up hitting you on the head. That's something that you normally don't believe, but this guy actually had a welt to prove that it happened. Um, so I guess what happened was my friend made a sudden movement, and he made some noise, or he tapped on the glass, and the arowana came leaping out of the aquarium and hit him right on the head. So technically, it was kind of his fault for startling the fish, and he got what he deserved. So that was pretty funny in itself. He ended up going to the doctor. I don't know why he did that, but he went to the doctor, and the doctor said he was all right. But after that, my dad's friend never went near the aquarium again, probably because he was pretty intimidated. But I remember my dad's friend did get into the aquarium hobby, and he kept things like discus and angelfish and tetras. But I think he learned his lesson when it comes to monster fish, and that is not to startle them and not to underestimate the power that they have. Because this arowana actually leaped, knocked over the aquarium cover, jumped out, landed on his head, and then landed on the ground. So that was pretty funny. I actually got a good laugh out of that. And it's an amazing story to tell to people. And I think it needs to be said that arowanas, especially above 2 feet, they have a lot of girth behind them. They're a massive fish. That arowana was probably close to 40, 50 pounds. So imagine that hitting your head, causing a huge red mark. And that must have been a scary moment. If I was that friend, I would never want an arowana. So every time he goes to the fish store and sees arowanas, he probably remembers my dad's tank and remembers the 3 foot arowana jumping and landing on his head. So pretty funny story. But remember, do not ever startle a large arowana. Don't bang on the glass or cause it to jump out, because when it jumps out, it's going to land on your head, and it can leave you injured. So very, very funny story to start the show. All right. So my next story involves me, unfortunately. You guys may find it funny, but it's not funny for me because this one involves me. And this one is actually my fault. So my next story is about another silver arowana jumping out and hitting me in the shoulder. But this one was more of a respectable size. This one was about 12 to 13 inches, so really couldn't do much damage to me. So, anyways, I was rehoming this arowana because I was going in a different direction with the current aquarium that he was in, and I wanted him to go to a good home. So someone came to pick up this arowana, and they gave me like a last minute notice that they could not come in to see the fish, but they would take them from the bucket that I would give them in and give me the cash. So basically, last minute notice, I had to literally get water in the bucket and try to catch this arowana without it jumping out of my aquarium. But if you kept arowanas for a long period of time, you know that it's really difficult to prevent them from jumping out of an aquarium. So here I am chasing him around. And then the next thing I know, I thought I had him in the net, but he ends up jumping out of the aquarium and hits me right here in the shoulder and falls to the ground. And I run and get him with my hands and put him in the bucket that had a lid on it. So that was not funny for me at the time because I was worried about the fish's safety and I was worried about him being okay. But he ended up making it to the new owner, and the new owner got the arowana home safe. So what I recommend to people when they are going to be netting out arowanas is to lower the aquarium by more than half. Lower it by more than half so that the arowana doesn't have room to start to leap. So if the arowana has room to do this, then it's going to jump out. But if you lower it to like right here, it will leap, but it will hit the glass and fall back into the aquarium. So keep that in mind when you are catching arowanas. Personally, I don't see myself getting any more silvers for the time being because they do get so large and they grow quickly. If I were to get another arowana, it would be a black arowana or an African arowana or a Giardini arowana, but those two jump as well. All right, now moving on to my third aquarium story, and this one is about another silver arowana jumping out. But this was not my or my father's arowana. This was an arowana at a fish store that I was purchasing from. So I was buying a 6-inch silver arowana from a local fish store, and the lady that was catching the arowana did not know that the silver arowana jumps. That silver arowanas like to jump. So I told her when she got ready to scoop the fish out of the aquarium, and she told me, "Oh, it's not going to jump out." So she ends up catching the arowana, putting it inside the specimen container, and as soon as she went to lift the specimen container and bag the fish, the arowana leaped out of the specimen container and fell right into a koi pond that is below the bagging station. So that was good for me because if the arowana had hit the floor, I would have told the fish store employee, I don't want that arowana anymore. And I recommend that if you're buying a tropical fish and it jumps out of a specimen container and it hits the floor, tell the fish store employee you don't want that fish. Because if that fish gets injured or sick, then you're going to be end up responsible for that, and you'll have to pay for that fish, and they probably won't give you any credit or anything. But most fish stores know that if a fish jumps out, they're going to give you another one. But luckily for me, this arowana landed in a koi pond, and she scooped it up again and got it in a bag, and we proceeded to get that arowana. But as fate would have it, this arowana actually caused a lot more trouble than jumping out of a specimen container, because now we're going to get to my next story, which some of you may find pretty funny, but it actually happened. Really, really crazy. So to set the story up, I'm going to show you a quick picture I made about this story. So I get the arowana all bagged up, and I head to the cashier, and the same person who bagged my silver arowana was actually in charge of cashier and taking money. So she had to run and use the bathroom really quick. So I was up at the register waiting for her and waiting for her to ring up the transaction. Long story short, it took her about 3 or 4 minutes in the bathroom, and she comes back and rings me up, and I pay for the silver arowana. So after that, we were talking at the register about other species of fish, and I was telling her about what I had in my aquarium. I don't remember what exactly we were talking about, but I know that it was at least a 10-minute conversation. And after I finished talking to her, I went to walk out of the store. And as soon as I almost opened the exit door, I hear the store owner shout, "Hey, you got to pay for that fish." And my dad and I immediately look back and say, "What the hell are you talking about? We just paid for this silver arowana." And luckily, the female employee told the store owner that we had paid. And I showed the owner the receipt, and he felt like a complete jerk, apologizing up and down to me and my father. And my dad had been a customer at his store for more than 2 decades. So for the owner to insinuate that his son would steal from him was like a low blow, because it really pissed my dad off. And he was so mad that he told me to go home and leave negative reviews on Facebook, telling people what this guy was about and stuff. But I didn't. I thought about doing it, but I didn't, because I don't like to harm businesses. But I did end up leaving a review on his page, saying that I was really upset about what he did. And he shouldn't be doing that if he's a business owner. If you think someone is stealing, you walk up to them and ask for a receipt. You don't shout it out at the top of your lungs, because that causes a scene, and then other people think that someone is stealing. So that was unnecessary. So he was talking to somebody, and he saw me going for the exit door, and he shouted that out. So what made me mad was that instead of coming up to me to ask for a receipt, he shouted out, and it just pissed me off. So what ended up happening is we didn't go to that store for quite a while. And then one of the fish store employees messaged me asking if I was still in the aquarium hobby. And I assumed that it was the owner that put that employee up to that, because we used to be longtime customers and we shopped there for many, many years. And then I told them everything's fine. Eventually, we made up, and I continued buying from that fish store until I moved here in Florida. But that is a very, very strange experience that I've had as a customer at a fish store. You never expect to be accused of stealing tropical fish. It's just bonkers to me that it happened. But hey, everyone is human. Everyone makes mistakes. And I assume he probably had fish stolen from him before. So maybe it was just he was having a bad day and he thought I was stealing a fish. Who knows? All right, and that is enough stories about silver arowanas. I know silver arowanas and arowanas in general are mythical fish, and there's a lot of myths behind them. Let's move on to some other aquarium stories that I'm going to share with you. So now we are going to talk about another fish that my dad owned, and it was a African lungfish and a iridescent shark. I have to say his lungfish was probably 2 feet, 2 to 2.5 feet, and the iridescent shark was good sized. It was 13 or 14 inches. And I was a teenager when this happened, and I had just come home from school when this happened. So let me show you a picture of what I'm going to talk about, a little thumbnail that I made, and then I will tell you the story of what this picture is representing. And I think when you guys see the picture, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. So here you see a large lungfish getting ready to inhale an iridescent shark. Except when it really happened, the iridescent shark was a 13 to 14 inch specimen, and the lungfish was a 2.5 foot creature. So very big lungfish in a very decent sized iridescent shark. So, anyways, my mom and I were on the computer and we hear something splash in the aquarium and we see a whole bunch of water on the floor. And when we look over, we see the lungfish actually having the iridescent shark inside the lungfish's mouth. So, as disturbing as this may sound, that's not the worst of it. The lungfish let go of the iridescent shark for a brief second, and the iridescent shark swam away with part of its scales and some of its red meat showing. Then all of a sudden, the lungfish slowly creeps behind like a shark, and with a quick bite, vacuum ins the iridescent shark using its teeth, crushing and killing it. And he wasn't able to eat it because it was too big. So we had to get the iridescent shark out of there. So basically, the lungfish mauled an iridescent shark to death. So the way I would describe it is like a pit bull attacking a chihuahua. And you know, if a pit bull is going to attack a chihuahua, you know there is no escape, and you know the chihuahua is not going to survive. Um, so after that, my dad was upset, but he kept the lungfish because the lungfish was like a dream fish of his. And uh, actually, the iridescent shark was the only fish that the lungfish went after. I think it was because the iridescent shark was way too active, way too paranoid, and it just pissed off the African lungfish. And I think the iridescent shark went into his territory and got spooked, and that's what triggered an attack by the lungfish. But you never think a fish is going to get so aggressive that it's going to maul another fish and kill it. I don't know if its intent was to eat it or if it just wanted to get it out of its aquarium, but that is what happened. Very, very scary, and very, very odd. But after that day, I still like lungfish. I still personally want to keep a lungfish, but I tell people to be very careful when it comes to placing other fish with African lungfish, because if you put something like iridescent shark with a lungfish that is super paranoid, it will be lunch. So that was a very interesting story that I wanted to share with you. And that was a story that my dad had happened. I wasn't a fish keeper at that time. Well, I didn't have a tank at that time. My dad did. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that story. All right, so we actually have someone that's going to be on our live stream, a dear good friend of mine. So I'd like to welcome Logan from Army Aquatics to the stream. Logan, how are you doing today, sir?
What is up? I can't be too far close to my tank because I have to make sure the baby goes to sleep. You know how it is being a new father and everything. But yeah, I got a story for you. It's not a story, but it's actual fact that's been happening to me lately. Uh oh. Baby's getting fussy. Hold on.
No problem.
That's why I can't leave go too far. Here, take your pacifier. Come on. Yeah, new baby. You know how it is.
Congratulations
But
on that. That's awesome.
the it's not a story. It's been happening lately. It deals with my blood parrots.
Nice. I like blood parrots.
I did not realize how aggressive they can be until I decided to clean out the intakes of the filters, and they come up. Both of them start biting my hand.
Does it
Like
hurt?
it don't hurt, but I was like, "What?"
You might have a
Yeah,
male and a female.
I think I do have a male and female.
You might have more babies.
Uh, I haven't had any yet, but we'll see. And I do got a question for you,
Sure.
Mr. Aqua Alex. Would you like to be part of my web series that I've been doing on my channel lately?
Absolutely. I've been watching it actually. I would love to be on it for you.
Did you see the one with glitch that I posted today?
Is that the 11 one? 11 o'clock one?
The one that posted like an hour ago.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one yet, but I'll watch it up right after this.
It's basically a YouTube series where it's discussing how aquariums help people's mental health.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a very good topic.
And so far, you're not going to guess who's going to be on the series.
Probably not.
Palmer Aquatics.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. He's a
Yeah,
big
he's
YouTuber.
a cool dude. He's great YouTuber.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I had so many aqua stories like you would not believe. We actually had another one, daddy detail, but we had another uh, tank when I was little. We had like black skirt tetras in there, and we actually had, I think it was either a red tail shark or a rainbow shark, one of the two. It was one of the ones with the red fins. That I remember. And it actually ended up eating one of the fish, but left the head floating in there. And I was like, oh, we still got a fish left. And then I looked to the side, and there was no body.
Wow. It lives up to its shark name.
The shark's name was Jaws.
Nice. Perfect.
But now here I am with my 125 over there. You can't see it behind the couch. There you go. It's right there.
Well, it looks nice.
With I got two bala sharks and a rainbow shark in there.
Nice. I got a ball of shark in here.
And actually, the bala sharks, usually they say rainbow sharks are really territorial when it comes to the other supposed freshwater shark species. But they actually get along just fine once the bala sharks got a little bit bigger.
Yeah, ball of sharks can be territorial.
Rainbow sharks can too.
I know. I never had rainbow. I had red tail sharks.
Don't the red tails get pretty good size?
I think so, like 6 or 8 inches.
I think the rainbow sharks get what, like maybe 6?
Yeah.
But bala sharks get the biggest of them all, 14 to
Yeah.
15.
Except for the iridescent shark, but that's a
That's
catfish.
that's a catfish.
Yeah. That's not
It's a
really.
catfish. And like, are you subbed to Palmer Aquatics?
Yeah, I watched some of his stuff.
I liked his video today. It was pretty interesting, but I'm not here to promote other people's channels. Aqua Alex, I like your. Is that a sweater?
Yeah, it's a Christmas sweater. Santa Claus.
Have you seen Rico Stan, Rico Claus, and all the lives?
I should.
Oh, it was hilarious. And I hear a story about Rico Stan's leggings.
I haven't seen that yet.
No?
No,
Wait, I got a question, Alex. Are you monetized?
not yet. I wish I was. I should be though. I've been on here for
How
7 years.
far? You got 10,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah, I don't have the 4,000 watch hours.
How close are you to getting that?
Right now, I'm about 590 watch hours, so far away.
So you're only at 590 so far this year?
Yeah, something's not right. I don't know. I don't know why it's like that.
Like my channel, I only have 300 subscribers, I think, something like that. 310, 320, somewhere around there. And my watch hours are like, for the year, are close to 700.
Wow, you got more than I do.
But I, you, you gotta pump out more content.
I will. I'm trying to. I think people watch some of my videos and then leave. They don't watch it to the end.
No, they don't have to watch the whole video as long as they watch like a minute or two of each video, you know. How long you
True.
been on YouTube?
For this channel, about 7 years.
And oh, you're making me scared. If I gotta be at it 7 years. But I mean, look at freaking some people who are at it for like, I don't know, 5, 6 years, and they're over 100,000.
true. I think
Like,
I made a mistake though. A couple years ago I used SubMe Now, which is like a website where you get free subscribers. And
is
I know
that,
that's a big no now on YouTube days. So maybe they detracted some of my watch hours from that.
oh, baby's home. Thank God. But yeah, like I was doing these sub for sub, going through these sub for sub channels, and YouTube caught on to that really quickly.
My
Is
fire
there a
alarm's
smoke
going off.
detector?
My fire alarm's going off.
Is there a fire?
No, my mom's making cookies.
She burnt the cookies?
I don't know. It's off now.
But like honestly, like being a new dad is something that's changed my life. You know?
Awesome. So that was. All right, so I'm gonna play a quick. I'll play a quick commercial while I wait for the fire alarm to go off, so you guys don't have to hear the fire alarm. Hey, tropical fish keepers, Aqua Alex Cardinale here, and I'm bringing you major news and exciting news. I am proud to announce that the very first episode of Aqua Alex Live in 2022 is going to be legendary. Why? Well, I have a legendary guest kicking it off. On Monday, January 3rd, 2022, at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, I am going to interview Kevin Cumberton, the owner of TangledUpInCichlids.com. TangledUpInCichlids.com is an online tropical fish store providing aquarium hobbyists like myself with quality Central and South American cichlids, African cichlids, tetras and barbs, catfish and plecos, and even North American fish. You'll find species like jack empties, firemouth, different types of oscar, including the wild-caught bumblebee oscar, different types of geophagus and severum, waru, Flagtail Prochilodus, different types of silver dollars, and different types of barbs, plecos, and even North American fish species like smallmouth bass and black crappie. I have personally purchased fish from Kevin at TangledUpInCichlids.com. I have purchased 4 Flagtail Prochilodus and a couple Leporinas. You may see them swim behind me. But I'm pretty sure the flagtails are on the opposite side of the aquarium. But the fish came in healthy. They are doing great. They do very well. And they have put on some size. Kevin sells fantastic fish at a great price. It is my pleasure to say that I'm going to have the opportunity to interview him. Monday, January 3rd, 2022, 9 p.m. Pacific. Kevin Cumberton will join Aqua Alex Live for a fun interview. TangledUpInCichlids.com was founded decades ago by Jeff Brad, who recently retired a number of years ago, and Kevin took over the business. Find out why Kevin took over TangledUpInCichlids and his goal with the future of TangledUpInCichlids.com and any future fish species that Kevin wants to import. Do you have questions for Kevin at tingledupandcichlids.com? Email them to me, alexcardinale19 at gmail.com. I will personally ask Kevin your questions and make sure you get your answers. So go purchase some fish from tingledupandcichlids.com. Mark your calendar. Monday, January 3rd, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Kevin Cumberton, the owner of Tangled Up and Cichlids, will be live on Aqua Alex Live right here on my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. Check out Tangled Up and Cichlids and be here or be square January 3rd. All right, we are back. I am totally sorry about that. I don't know why the smoke alarm was going off during my live stream, but we finally got it shut off. So now we can continue with our video. So I would like to thank Logan from Army Aquatics for appearing live on our video today. Really, really honored that Logan joined me. He's an amazing fish keeper, and he's also a military vet. Two things that I have a lot of respect for. So thank you, Logan, and I'll definitely appear on your YouTube channel. All right, let's get right back into my aquarium stories. I've got, let's see, 4 more that I'm going to tell you about. So my next story involves another monster fish, and that is a red-tail catfish. So this is a quick story. Like I said, back in the day, my dad had large predatory fish, and he had a friend by the name of George Sherman, aka Bucky. My dad was going to be trading in a large, I would say 2.5, 3 foot red-tailed catfish to a local fish store. And the local fish store really wanted this catfish because they were going to put it in their display aquarium. I forgot how big it was, but it really was a large aquarium. So my dad decided to bring it to them for some store credit. So he got like a big Rubbermaid tub to put it in. And he had a couple of regular nets to catch them. And imagine this is a 2.5, 3 foot catfish. So they had to use the nets and a towel to catch him. So they end up getting him out of the aquarium. But this fish is so big that it's flopping and flipping around. Actually punctured a hole in one of my dad's friend's shirt. And while it was doing that, it was actually making sounds. It was growling. I don't know if any of you guys have watched River Monsters and you've seen Jeremy Wade catch that giant Paraiba. When he caught that Paraiba, it was growling out of the water. That is the exact same noise that the red-tailed catfish was making. And while he was doing that, he was continuing to rip holes in the shirt of my dad's friend. That is the power of those pectoral fins that the Pimelota catfish have. But they were able to get him in the bucket, and they brought him to the local fish store where he went into the display aquarium. And then from there, he got transported to the New England Aquarium, I believe, or some aquarium display where he was a permanent resident until he passed away. So that's an interesting story on a red-tailed catfish, and that is what got me interested in red-tailed catfish. So my next story involves one of my favorite species of tropical fish, a species that I spent my entire teenage years researching, and that is a Flagtail Prochilodus, which is a charasin from South America, and perhaps the best algae-eating charasin you will find in South America. So this is back in 2015 when I had a 90-gallon aquarium and I had to do a water change. And I forgot that Flagtail Prochilodus jump out, and I did a 75% water change, and I left the lids open. So while I was draining the water and carrying the buckets to the bathroom, because I still do water changes the old-fashioned way. Because that house that I lived in, we had like a 1920 sink. There's no way uh, a Python or an Aquarium water changer would fit on it. So we had to do water changes the old-fashioned way. And then even in the house that I'm living in right now, our sinks are now modern, but there's no way a Python would fit on there either. So I'm still having to do the old-fashioned water changes. But to the story on hand, when I went to refill the tank, I said, why is that flagtail missing? But he somehow managed to jump out of a tank that was like down to here water level, so he had to jump out from several feet, and I found him under my storage heater. Luckily, it was unplugged. If it had been plugged in, he would have been toast. But I ended up scooping him back up and putting him in the aquarium, and he was okay. So ever since then, when I do water changes, I make sure the lids are closed if I have fish that jump out in an aquarium. And like arowanas, Flagtail, Prochilodus jump on natural instinct. Anytime they have stress, they're going to jump because that's what their instinct is telling them to do. And when they migrate in South America, they're like salmon. When they migrate, they jump from stream to stream. So it's born in them to be a jumper fish. All right. So this next story is kind of funny because you would think working at a fish store that an employee would know that this fish is very venomous and should be handled with care, but the employee did not know any of this, and he suffered a wound because he did not know. So this is actually about a saltwater fish, and this is when I owned saltwater aquariums. And it's about one of my favorite saltwater fish, a one-spot foxface rabbitfish. So I went into a fish store. I believe it was like a Black Friday sale, and I saw that my fish store had one spot fox faces on sale for $30 at about 5 inches. So I decided I was going to get him, and I got one of the employees to bag him up and take care of me at the register. But while I was looking at some of the other tanks, and while he was getting the specimen container ready, I heard a loud scream. I thought, why is this employee screaming? And I turn around and I see the fox face on the floor, and I see him holding his hand in pain. And I was like, what the heck happened? So he runs to the bathroom to put, I'm guessing, hot water on his hand, and the owner had to catch the fox face with a net, bag him up, and take me over to the cash register. So what apparently happened, he was attempting to scoop up the fox face with a net. He had him cornered in the aquarium, which is something you never want to do with a venomous fish because it's either going to jump out and spike you, or it's going to spike you when you lift it up out of the aquarium. So he got spiked, and he had venom injected in his hand from the foxface rabbitfish. So I don't know what happened after I left, but I do know that he was off of work for several days. So I'm assuming it was to rest up and hopefully feel better. I did feel terrible that it was my fish that I bought that caused this. But at the end of the day, if you're working at a fish store, you should know that foxface rabbitfish, stingrays, lionfish, and other fish like that have venom, and they can cause danger. So you should wear gloves. But not everyone knows that. I just thought it was funny. I was talking about this the other day to a friend of mine who is also a YouTuber, and he specializes in saltwater fish. And I told him the story, and he died laughing. He couldn't stop laughing. And I was like, that's not funny. What if it happened to you? You wouldn't be laughing. But that story was pretty funny. But if that person is watching this video, he's probably like this to me. Fuck you, Alex. That's funny. All right. Well, it's actually Christmas season, and this story is very fitting for Christmas. And it's a very creepy story. And it involves a fire eel and a Christmas tree. So I'm going to show you a picture, and that's going to give you a hint of what I'm about to talk about. So this picture, you see a fire eel wrapped around a Christmas tree. Well, that's because I had purchased a 11-inch fire eel, and it was the very first time that I got a fire eel. It was my very first fire eel, and I was very excited. And I had lids on my aquarium, so I have no idea how it got out. But I acclimated it to my aquarium. It was after a full day of shopping. The local fish store was the last stop. I came home. It was like 10 p.m. at night. Acclimated the fish, and then put them in my aquarium and went to bed. So when I woke up the next morning, I turned the aquarium light on, looking all over the place for the fire eel, looking under the PVC pipes, couldn't find him. And then I looked under the floors, under the couches, because my aquarium was in my living room at the time, next to the couch. And then I turned the Christmas tree lights on, and I saw him like wrapped around the Christmas tree. And I was like, what the hell is that? How the hell did he get there? So I got him with a net and put him in the aquarium, but he was dry to the bone. So unfortunately, I lost my very first fire eel that I got, and that was my fish Christmas present that year. So I was devastated, and I was heartbroken to see that my first fire eel committed suicide by wrapping itself around a Christmas tree. Maybe he thought it was some sort of aquatic plant or a decoration outside of the aquarium. I don't know. But I was devastated, and I did not get another fire eel until the next year because I didn't want anything to happen to it. But that story fits in perfectly with this time of year because it is Christmas season. All right. My last story for this episode, there's going to be a part 2 coming up in 2022 because, like I said, I've got numerous aquarium stories that I'm going to share. And maybe in my next episode, I'll get some special guests to also share some aquarium stories with us. That would be pretty fun as well. So, as you see on the image here, this story is about a used aquarium leaking on me. And it was a very large aquarium. We're talking 125 gallons. So the day that I bought the 125, I got a really good deal on it. It was a 125-gallon tank and stand for $100. The guy said it held water fine. He had fish in it. So I believed him. I bought it. I put it in my basement, and I put some rocks on the bottom of the aquarium for my fish to hide in. I filled it with water, plugged the filters in, put prime in, and put my fish in. And it was good for several hours. Then I went to bed, and I hear like a loud explosion, and then I hear water gushing out on the floor. My room was right above the basement where my tank was, so I immediately rushed down to the basement, and I see like a hole where the glass is and water pouring out, fish everywhere. So I catch all the fish without trying to get glass in my foot, and I put them in another tank, and then I have to like scoop up all the water and stuff. Very, very horrific scene. Imagine 125 gallons of water on a wooden basement floor. Horrific. So, needless to say, I wasn't able to have a 6-foot aquarium again on those floors because of what happened. There was a lot of water damage, and it cost me a lot of money. So that is why I am very hesitant about buying used aquariums above 4 feet. Like I'm getting a 180 in a couple months, or maybe even next month when I get my tax return. And I'm really hesitating not getting a used tank. I'm talking to my local fish store to see how much a brand new 180 would cost me. And if I can afford it, I'll get the new tank and stand myself. That will save me a lot of stress and headaches. And then I can just create my own display aquarium. But that's my final story for tonight. Very horrific. I'm sure everyone in the aquarium hobby has leaky aquariums, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to have similar stories. But the moral of this story, don't trust people on their word. When they're selling something dirt cheap, it's because there's probably something wrong with that aquarium, and that's why they're trying to get rid of it. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed my first episode of Storytime with Aqua Alex Cardinale, funny tropical fish stories. I apologize for the smoke detector going off in the middle of my live stream, but hey, things happen. Life is life. I appreciate Logan from Army's Aquatic for calling into the show. Really fun conversation. Congratulations, Logan, on being a father. That's amazing. Congratulations on your hard work for your YouTube channel. Really proud of you, and I can't wait to be on your channel as well. So that's going to be phenomenal. All right, so before I end today's video, I do have a couple of announcements to make, and then we'll end today's video and get ready for Christmas week. Stay tuned for episode 2 of Funny Tropical Fish Stories coming to you in 2022. Some of the stories I will share include piranhas. Find out how a Niger catfish, aka a ripsaw catfish, deformed a black piranha. Find out how a black piranha ended up on the floor and almost bit my foot. I'll also talk about a betta fish jumping out of a fishbowl and my grandma almost stepping on it, and some other amazing stories. That will be in January of 2022, so next month. I've got a couple of amazing interviews coming up on Aqua Alex Live. This Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021, at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, I've got my final fish keeping interview of 2021. I will be interviewing my dear friend Peyton from PF Fishing. So we're going to talk about his job at a local fish store. We're going to talk about his plans for 2022 and much more. So fish keeping hobbyists, make sure you check out my interview with Peyton from PF Fishing this Wednesday, December 22nd at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. And I think you guys already know about my interview with Kevin Cumberton from Tangled Up in Cichlids, Monday, January 3rd, 2022, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. All right, guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale, for all my exciting videos that are coming up. And I'm going to leave you with a pleasant adieu, but a very seasonal Merry Christmas, fish keepers. Thank you for tuning in. Happy holidays. And Santa Claus, Aqua Alex says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and adios. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Aqua Alex Cardinale here, and I'm here to announce the Ultimate Aquarium Hobbyist giveaway. On Sunday, March 6, 2022, I will proudly celebrate my 8th year as a YouTuber. And to celebrate and say thank you to all the amazing aquarium hobbyists and tropical fish keepers who have supported my YouTube channel over the last 8 years, I am doing the Ultimate Aquarium Hobbyist giveaway. There are 3 amazing prizes. The first prize is a $100 gift certificate to Tangled Up in Cichlids. Tangled Up in Cichlids is home to many awesome South and Central American cichlids, such as Oscars, Severums, Waru, Angelfish, Jack Dempsey's, Viajas, and much more. They also have Catfish, Fleckos, Cherisons, and even African cichlids. The second prize is a $100 gift certificate to Aquatic Rarities, Inc., aka Malone's Monsters. Now, Bob at Malone's Monsters and Aquatic Rarities is a true aquarium hobbyist with a love for monster fish and tropical fish in general. You will find things like lungfish, Lipterus, arowanas, four-eyed anablips, and more cool oddball fish at Aquatic Rarities. And the last prize giveaway, and the third prize, is Little Egypt Aquarium Club gift certificate donated by Little Egypt Aquarium Club founder Jeremy Stellhorn. Now, on the Little Egypt Aquarium Club website, you will find aquarium supplies for sale, like Fluval FX6 canister filter, hang on the back filters, aquarium heaters, and some awesome tropical fish food. You will be able to use that gift certificate to purchase some amazing aquarium supplies. So, aquarium hobbyist, to enter this giveaway, it's really simple. All you need to do is film a video of your aquarium and your tropical fish. In the video, talk about your favorite tropical fish species. Then tell me about what new fish you want to get and what aquarium supplies you can use. So, since Tangled Up in Cichlids and Aquatic Rarities only supply freshwater fish, it is beneficial for freshwater hobbyists to enter. However, saltwater hobbyists are encouraged to enter as well. And if a saltwater hobbyist wins, they will win a gift card to either Live Aquaria or Blue Zoo Aquatics, provided that the winner is a saltwater hobbyist. So all you've got to do is film a video of your aquarium and your fish, and also talk about your favorite tropical fish species, talk about what new fish you want to get, and what aquarium supplies you can use. Email your video to alexgoyankeescardinale19@gmail.com by no later than March 1st, 2022. In your email, leave your name, your contact information in case you win, and of course, your video. Each video entry will be uploaded to my channel and in my giveaway playlist. The top 3 videos with the most views and likes will be the 3 winners, and they will be announced live on March 6, 2022 during my 8-year YouTube anniversary celebration live stream. Good luck, aquarium hobbyists. This contest is open to every aquarium hobbyist, whether freshwater or saltwater, and any aquarium hobbyist in the United States of America. So enter right now. Good luck, and I can't wait to see your videos. Remember the deadline to enter, March 1st. Thank you for watching this episode of Aqua Alex Live here on my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. I hope you, the amazing tropical fish keepers, enjoyed today's video. Please make sure to leave a like on today's video if you enjoyed it, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale, if you enjoyed this video, to see some more awesome episodes of Aqua Alex Live. Tank on, fish keepers, and I'll see you on the next Aqua Alex Live. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everyone! Santa Claus Alex Cardinale here, inviting you to be a part of the inaugural Christmas 2021 Bash, airing live just 2 days before Christmas, Thursday, December 23rd, 2021, at 11:15 p.m. Eastern, 8:15 p.m. Pacific. Join me, Santa Claus Alex Cardinale, for a fun Christmas 2021 bash, featuring an appearance from Chef Alex with Chef Alex's best cookie recipes. I have a very important message to give as Santa Claus, and I'll give out Christmas present ideas and so much more. Merry Christmas, everyone, and happy holidays. Mark your calendars, Thursday, December 23rd, 2021, 11:15 p.m. Eastern, 8:15 p.m. Pacific. Christmas 2021 Bash, live right here on Alex's YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale. See you then, folks. Merry Christmas. Hey, Legendary Alex Cardinale here. I'm inviting you, my viewers, to be a part of history. Come tune in to my inaugural New Year's Eve Bash live Friday, December 31st, 2021 at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Join me as I end 2021 in style and begin 2022 with a bang. Live on my New Year's Eve bash, I am going to review the year that was 2021. I will discuss the good and the bad of 2021. I will discuss my best YouTube videos of 2021. I will discuss my New Year resolutions for 2022, and there will be viewer interactivity. Some of my subscribers will be on my video to discuss their New Year resolutions. All that and more, including an appearance from Chef Alex Cardinale, who will be giving out delicious alcoholic beverage recipes as well as delicious appetizer recipes as well. So join me live Friday, December 31st, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, as the final episode of 2021 is sure to be a banger. We'll see you on New Year's Eve for a fun special broadcast right here on my YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale. New Year's Eve, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific.